It's like an orb, man. Look at that. It's pulsating. It's pulsating. Oh, this is awesome.
In March 2020, two FedEx pilots were flying a cargo airplane near Monterrey, Mexico, when they saw a bright light drop down from the sky, stop at their altitude, shoot them with a beam of light, then move in tandem with the plane for over 30 minutes before flying away. The captain shot a stunning video of the encounter, which was analyzed by experts who considered that the pilot's account was very consistent with what has been reported for over 100 years.
Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up guys, DOZgeek here with Section 51. Big thanks as always for your support to the channel. Before starting, let's like and share this new video right now to keep supporting Section 51. And please let me invite you to watch this video until the end in order to boost the ranking of the channel. I hope you're well and that you're ready. And now, let's start. On March the 19th, 2020, two FedEx pilots were flying a cargo airplane near Monterrey, Mexico, when they saw a bright light drop down from the sky, stop at their altitude, shoot them with a beam of light, then move in tandem with the plane for over 30 minutes before flying away. The captain shot a stunning video of the encounter, which was analyzed in a report by the National Aviation Reporting Center on Anomalous Phenomena, NARCAP, a non-profit organization that studies pilots' brushes with UFOs to help develop safety procedures. The report did not name the pilots, as many in the aviation industry are still wary of the stigma around UFOs despite official acknowledgement of the phenomena by the US and other governments. But NARCAP Executive Director Ted Rowe, the author of the report, declared that the pilot's account was very consistent with what pilots have been reporting for over 100 years. According to the report, the captain of the Boeing 767 cargo plane is a career pilot with 19 years of experience flying wide-body aircraft for a major cargo company with an additional 10 years flying KC-135 refueling tankers for the US Air Force, while the first officer was a carrier fighter pilot that flew F-15s before working in the private sector. They were described as competent airmen, highly experienced with observing and identifying aircraft, and are capable of determining normal observations and incidents from unusual ones. The plane left Querétaro International Airport north of Mexico City at 8:05 p.m. and was about 150 miles south of Monterrey on its way to Memphis, Tennessee, when the unidentified object appeared. The incident began when the first officer, looking across to the left side of the cockpit, saw a yellowish white light descend into view from above. He first believed that it was a meteor and began to say so when it suddenly stopped near the same altitude as their aircraft. The UAP then projected an illuminating beam of bright white light on their aircraft and appeared to take a collision heading. Captain and first officer, in the belief that an aircraft with its landing lights on had turned onto a collision heading with their aircraft, took a defensive attitude and prepared for evasive control inputs. But instead of heading to crash into them, the UFO then started to move in tandem with the plane between 1,000 and 2,000 feet away. In the video, the captain can be heard expressing his shock and excitement at seeing a UFO, which he described as a brilliant yellow-white plasma object, teardrop-shaped. Mysteriously, the UFO did not show up on the plane's radar.
Shooting star, but then it stopped, huh? Yeah, let me zoom in, man. It's like an orb, man. Look at that. It's pulsating. Oh, this is awesome. And he's not on TCAS, man. Huh. Well, I can tell Rita now. That's interesting. That is, dude. That is hot. Platillos, platillos. He's a pulsating orb. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Turn on the tail light. Oh, it is on. Okay, cool. Never mind. Oh man, look at that thing, dude. Flip the TCAS switch up and see if you see anything on the display on the ND. Anything? Any TCAS returns? No. Okay, flip the switch down. He's definitely above our altitude. Yeah, that man. This guy is not reporting TCAS. That is a unidentified flying object, bro. I can finally say I saw one now. That is cool. And it's pulsating too, man. That is nuts. Oh, I wish you would get closer. I can't believe you saw it. What's on the map below us? What city? Is it Monterrey?
We're over
so the nearest, because they tend to congregate around Monterrey. They'll get a lot of. Yeah, we're close. How close to Monterrey? We're about 150 miles from Monterrey. Oh man, that is phenomenal, dude! I'm so glad you saw that, and you saw it drop out of the sky and just stop.
I thought it was a shooting star, and it just stopped.
This is awesome, man. Oh, this is cool. I had to call my brother-in-law. He lives in Puebla.
I mean, there's nothing flashing that I can see on it when you put
No,
the video.
but
It's
look how it pulses, though.
I know.
Here, let me zoom in. Jeez, man, that is freaky, man.
Crazy. You think it's a weather balloon? Is it thunderstorms?
No, not with lights like that.
Because it doesn't fall like that either.
No, the only weather balloon we have is near Harlingen. It's 15,000 feet AGL. This thing's above our altitude. I just can't tell. That's why I asked you to hit the TCAS, just in case it was an airplane. Dude, it's pulsing, man. Look at that.
Sí, todas las decisiones están autorizadas cuando posible prosiga directo pulso para interceptar la red 1 alfa a la 2 a la 11. ¿Será cuando precisión te dijo?
Latios.
I don't see anything on TCAS at all.
Yeah, man. And there's no strobe. I don't see a... And the fact that it dropped out of the sky like that and then stopped and hovered. He's probably just checking us out. I was going to turn on the light over there, but... Looks like he's turning away from us. That is phenomenal, man. Look at that. Yeah, they're all over Mexico, dude.
I wonder what you can do with that video. Like, if you
It's...
what I was like, it just disappeared.
Where'd he go? Is he there? All right. Oh, it's the clouds.
It's in the clouds, yeah.
He's almost like he's over the weather or something.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, we're going to lose him in the clouds. Son of a... Well, there it is. Right there, man, on my ND. There's our airplane. And there's no TCAS. There's weather about 40 miles off our left wingtip where this thing seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, I went both directions.
Yeah, there's no TCAS returns, man. It's not an airplane. It didn't have strobes or beacon or nothing. It's my first time. I'm so excited. Now I can say, yeah, I've seen a UFO. I got a video.
The only weather balloon we had in the area was at 15,000 feet above ground level. This thing was above our altitude. The 767 was flying at approximately 575 miles per hour at 37,000 feet when the encounter happened.
As the aircraft and its attendant UAP approached the Mexico-US border, the UAP began to flicker. It changed colors from yellow-white to pinkish-purple and turned on a perpendicular, heading away from the aircraft and parallel to the border without crossing into the United States. As we can see in the video, the captain filmed his radar screen showing no sign of the UFO, just patches of clouds to the west of the 767. As usual, traditional debunkers tried to explain this UFO sighting as the planet Venus and the pulsating as a deceptive effect from the camera autofocus adjusting its lens in the dark. However, the pilots told NARCAP they saw the pulsing, plasma-like appearance with their own eyes, as well as capturing it on camera, and described seeing the pulsing light, as well as the inexplicable movement of the object dropping from the sky, coming to a complete stop in mid-air and then matching their speed and direction. NARCAP Executive Director Ted Rowe said this:
"We have a database going back to 1916. It describes 4 basic types of UAP encounters, and they are balls of light, spheres, cylinders and disks. I went through the analysis. There was some argument that it could have been an astronomical effect. Venus was quite bright that night. But when you take the entire narrative of how they describe it, dropped in vertically, stopped at their altitude and then paced their aircraft, that is a very consistent story. We've had many of those. The video also showed there were clouds to the west, and if Venus was parallel to his aircraft, appearing to be at his altitude, the clouds would have obstructed it. Both the teardrop shape that the UFO made as it moved through the air and the lack of radar return could be due to plasma surrounding it. We didn't get a clearly defined video of what this phenomenon was, but we have the description. It was teardrop-shaped, white or yellow. I'm guessing that these things are plasma or have plasma involved in them. We use plasma to cut the radar cross-section on the reflectable parts of a stealth aircraft. They might use plasma actuators to absorb that signal rather than allow it to reflect. One of my continued frustrations is that the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, refuses to document incidents like those of the FedEx pilots. The FAA literally will not accept their reports. The Aeronautical Instruction Manual, which is the primary manual for air crews, tells them if they want to report a UFO they can contact a civilian UFO reporting center. This has been going on for decades. The information is lost to the aviation system and safety planners because the data is never presented to the aviation system to begin with.
In 2011, researchers at the University of Florida wrote a report on a proof-of-concept demonstration of how plasma could be used to make a wingless object self-lift over and fly. Their experiments, sponsored by the Air Force Office of Scientific Research, involved building, characterization, testing, and simulation of plasma actuators, aerodynamics, power and propulsion system, micro-machining, and micro-fabrication. Knowing the process of recording these UFO reports by aircraft pilots and the apparent willingness to continue to hide this information, how can we continue to trust these authorities? There is apparently a clear desire to hide all these UFO reports from the general public. But for what purpose? To avoid the general panic? What is so important that they have to hide it? And how many other UFO reports remain classified as top secret for our supposed security? I guess the little information that gets to the public is just the tip of the iceberg. We still have so much to discover. The multiplication of these UFO reports, of the leaks of these images by the pilots, will certainly allow us to open one day all these files still classified, in order to know what are really all these strange phenomena that occur every day around us. We need to know, and we have the right to know. And you know perfectly well that in this world, knowledge and information are power. I hope you enjoyed this video. Section 51 is on social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share it, to subscribe, and to support Section 51. I'll be back really soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper.